Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
What's good, gamers? This is Adam Gumbert from Respawn Aim Fire, the Kick-Ass Reverent Gaming Podcast. I'm here today to talk to you about a little gem of a game called Inscryption. Inscryption is a 2021 roguelike deck-building game developed by Daniel Mullins Game and published by Devolver Digital. Initially launched in late 2021, and that is when I discovered this little perfection of a game. End of the year, everyone's concerned about Game of the Year stuff. I went to do my due diligence, and they're like, hey, there's this cool little indie game over on the PC. You should check that out. I played this game in December of 2021, and immediately was like, oh, this is the best game of 2021. The idea is that the game starts you out in a weird cabin, and you're across the table. You can't see his face from somebody who's like, basically, hey, do you want to play a game? And then the gameplay is a deck building roguelike, sort of a strategy, puzzle, escape room, turn-based strategy, all of that kind of game, right? When I first started playing it, I was like, okay, I like Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is excellent. Another game like that, again, very much, you get the board where you make decisions. Do I go left or right? I'm building my deck. I'm getting new cards as I do each run. I like the idea of this. In the first, I'm not going to go very heavy spoilers because I think this game is so cool and so impressive. I don't want to ruin too much. The surprise really did it for me. But the first, I'll just say third of the game, is very much just feels like, oh, I'm doing a roguelike game, and it's very good. The cards are fun. There's this weird undertone of this horror thing where all the cards are talking to you, and they change their shape, and you can get up out of your chair eventually and look around the room and like, oh, do I grab a knife to stab at my own eye? What is that? What happens if I do that? And things like that. So the first third of the game is very much that. You're beating these bosses, trying to get to the end of this board game, and trying not to die along the way. And all that is excellent. Again, compared to Slay the Spire, it is a similar idea where Slay the Spire just feels good to play over and over and over again. And the base card mechanic of this game also feels excellent. All the combos you can do, there's systems where you gather blood or sometimes you gather bones. And there's some strategy and resource management, as well as, like, again, I don't want to spoil it too much. At certain points of the game, you get to make your own cards. And all of that can feel broken and super fun, and you're slowly unraveling this mystery. But then once you quote-unquote beat the game, you start to see what the game really, and this is what really took over for me, because that first part, I was like, this is excellent. This is my top 5 games of the year, for sure. It's so smooth and feels great, and I love it, and it's wonderful. But once you quote-unquote beat Inscryption, and again, slight spoilers, if you have not played this game or heard about it, stop listening to this and go play that phenomenal game. But for those of you who know, or those of you who are interested, you beat quote-unquote Inscryption. The screen goes a little bit fuzzy, and it pulls back to show that you're a YouTube guy who's making videos, and like the whole ARG part of this game comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm this guy who found a floppy disk in the woods, and I'm gonna play it and figure out what this is, because his whole thing is, his name is Luke Carter, and he has a collectible card YouTube channel, and he's trying to figure out this game he's never heard of before. He had a pack of cards, he had a floppy disk. He's trying to find out everything about that. So you are playing the game that the YouTube guy is playing. And then we get into some real weird Daniel Mullins stuff where, like, this guy's YouTube channel is a real YouTube channel that was out before the game ever came out. So you could have randomly stumbled across this dude, like, who said he found a card game out in the woods, and you could have been along for the ride. But then we start finding out, like, the really weird parts of the game where it's like, I don't know, is the game maybe more than it seems? Is there, they're different characters. They seem to be reacting to me like they're real people. The second and third section of the game are different games completely. And they really go for it, and I absolutely adore it for that. Again, if it was just the fun card stuff, I would have been into it, but it's like, okay, yeah, let's get into the real weird stuff. We're like looking through the databases of this guy's, YouTube videos that he didn't upload, and there's little codes in the things, and it's so good. Like, that stuff alone is what puts that over the top for me. Again, it's such a cool game. I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't played it, but the basics are awesome. Deck building roguelike, really cool real life ARG stuff. And it does the best of all of those, so just play it if you haven't played it. There's not much more I can say except for, really cool characters, really fun gameplay, weird, creepy horror story that you're trying to figure out what's going on. I would just say that the game ends up where there's a subplot about like Hitler and the occult and the Soviet Union and spies, and then maybe like the actual copy of Inscryption you're playing might be a part of a bigger plot that's involved in the real world and not in the video game of Inscryption. It is insane. It is wild. I adore this game. Game of the year 2021. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. It is excellent. Everyone, without a doubt, check out Inscryption. And happy gaming.
Welcome to No Small Games, the indie gaming recap and review podcast. I'm Kate, also known as Cater Blossom.
And I'm Emily. You might also know me online as The Specific Egg.
And we met streaming and playing video games on Twitch.
At No Small Games, we combine our favorite genres to experience everything the indie game world has to offer and share it with all of you. We believe there are no small games, only small game studios.
Each episode, we'll choose one indie game that we each played separately and discuss our playthrough experience together.
The good, the bad, and our most memorable moments. We'll follow our recap with a review and announcement of which indie game will be featured on our next episode.
We invite you to play each game along with us and would love to hear from you about your playthrough experience.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, Emily.
I hope that No Small Games brings everyone some big fun.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.